Welcome to this video series on aptitude presented by Mentors for IAS in association with Bangalore IAS Academy and Namak APSC. So let me just remind you that this is an initiative of Namak APSC to help students to prepare and study from home with the help of YouTube videos, current affairs available on the website, PDF materials available for each and every subject, as well as online tests to track your preparation. So do remember to check out www.namakapsc.com for more information. Now, in this particular session, I will actually be discussing about pipes and cisterns. Now, since we have already discussed about work and time in length, I've actually taken 4 sessions regarding work and time. There are four videos. If you've not gone through these videos, it is essential that you go through the previous 4 videos with respect to work and time before you take up the 10th video in our aptitude series, which is regarding pipes and cisterns. This is because problems on pipes and cisterns are very similar to problems on time and work, except that where the amount of work to be done is nothing but to fill an empty tank or to empty out an tank, to empty out a tank of certain capacity, obviously, and the time required to complete the work will be nothing but the time taken to fill or empty the tank. See, I'm pretty sure if you have gone through the previous videos, I used to always say that why not solve this problem by something known as the chocolate method. So I used to say that the amount of work to be achieved is nothing but to eat a certain number of chocolates, say for example 100 chocolates to be eaten. Now, instead of some work, that is to do something or to eat something, when it comes to pipes and cisterns, the only work is to fill a particular tank over here. So I have a tank, I have a cistern, I have a reservoir, whatever it is, it does not matter. Usually there will be a pipe or a tap which is going to fill this particular tank with water or whatever liquid it is. So the work to be done is nothing but to fill this entire tank of certain capacity. So instead of this 100 chocolates, it could be 100 liters, for example. So if you take 10 hours to eat 100 chocolates, it would actually mean that here you're taking 10 hours to fill a tank of capacity 100 liters. So in this case, what would this mean? If you're eating 100 chocolates in 10 hours, it would mean that you're eating 10 chocolates per hour. Similarly, if you are filling 100 liters in 10 hours, what does this mean? You are filling 10 liters per hour. The concept remains the same. So if you've understood time and work, you should be able to appreciate, you should be able to understand pipes and cisterns as well. Except that there is one other added factor to it. Here we used to only consider the work to be done, but we used to never consider undoing the work which has been done. So what I would say is that A is doing some amount of work, there is also B doing some amount of work, then comes C who will undo the amount of work done by A and B. This factor we have never considered in time and work. But when it comes to pipes and cisterns, this will also come into picture. How? What if I have another outlet over here which will extract, remove or empty out this tank? So we have one tap, or we could have two taps filling this particular tank together. Whereas we could have another third tap which is removing water from this particular tank. So then you will have to consider the rate at which the tank is being filled such that tap A is filling in water, tap B is filling in water, whereas tap C is removing or extracting water from the tank. So this picture, this concept or this factor comes into picture when it comes to pipes and cisterns. So this we will have to consider. This is nothing but undoing of the work over here. So if it was A plus B earlier, now we have A plus B minus C, where C is undoing the work of A and B. Okay, so let me just further explain it. So generally you will always have an inlet pipe. You will generally always have an inlet pipe. Okay, so this is your inlet pipe which is always going to fill water. So the inlet pipe is connected to a tank or a cistern or a reservoir that fills it, whereas an outlet pipe is connected to a tank or a cistern or reservoir in order to empty it. So if a pipe can fill a tank of X liters, let me say, see, we used to always assume the amount of work to be done as X amount of work. So here I am going to assume the amount of work to be done is nothing but to fill a tank of capacity X liters. Okay, so if a pipe, this inlet pipe, if this inlet pipe can fill a tank of X liters in P hours, then in 1 hour how many liters are filled? Very simple. If in X hours, if X liters can be filled in P hours, P number of hours, then how many liters are filled in 1 hour? This is very similar to your time and work, nothing but X by P, correct? Nothing but X by P. What if I have another pipe which can empty a tank in Q hours? It can empty, this is your outlet. This outlet pipe or tap is going to empty the tank in Q hours. What does this mean? If you are able to empty the tank of X liters in Q hours, then in 1 hour how many liters of water can you extract? What is this? This is nothing but X by Q. So now we have two conditions. Okay, so we have to consider two conditions. What if the inlet pipe is able to fill the tank at a rate greater than the outlet pipe is able to extract the water? Or what if the outlet pipe is able to remove water, extract water from the tank at a rate greater than at which water can be filled by the inlet pipe? This is the question over here. So if a pipe can fill a tank in P hours and another pipe can empty a full tank in Q hours, where Q is greater than P, meaning the outlet pipe takes more time to empty out the tank, meaning what? The inlet pipe is filling the tank at a greater rate. Then on opening both the pipes, the net part of the tank which is filled in an hour will be what? Nothing but your X by P minus X by Q. X by P minus X by Q. That is when Q is greater than P, meaning the inlet pipe is able to add water into the tank at a rate greater than the rate at which the outlet pipe is able to remove water. Similarly, we have the next condition, that is P is greater than Q. So what if a pipe can fill a tank in P hours and another pipe can empty a full tank in Q hours, where P is greater than Q, meaning the inlet pipe takes more time to fill the tank, the outlet pipe takes less time to empty the tank. So this is removing water, the outlet pipe is removing water at a greater rate when compared to the inlet pipe which is adding water to the tank. Then on opening the pipe, the number of liters emptied in an hour, 1 hour I am saying, in 1 hour, in an hour, nothing but 1 hour, this will be nothing but X by Q minus X by P. See, all of this is nothing but a part of your introduction. Even if you've not understood this, when we move on, once we move on to solving the problems, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to understand, provided you've understood time and work, because I cannot go into that basics, explain each and everything. When it comes to pipes and systems, it would take a lot of time. What is important is that you solve more problems. If you're not able to understand the concept, if you've not seen time and work, it is better you go back to time and work, go through those videos, and only then move over to pipes and cisterns. So before I start with the first problem, let me just remind you to also check out our other videos. To go to our channel, and that is amakapsc.com or Mentors for IAS, and also check out other videos and other subjects which have been uploaded. It will be of great help to you in your preparation. So we'll start with the first problem. Now, very simple. Now, the first problem, I will solve it by two methods. That is your fraction method and also your chocolate method, which is similar to your chocolate method. However, from the second problem onwards, I will only continue with one single method, and I will not do each and every problem by two methods. But for your sake, for the sake of understanding, I will do the first problem by two methods. So the first question says there are two pipes A and B. So obviously we have a tank over here. We have pipe A and we have another pipe B. Okay, so both the pipes are filling the tank with water or whatever liquid it is. So the two pipes A and B can fill a tank in 36 hours and 45 hours. So the first pipe takes 36 hours to fill the entire tank. To fill the entire tank, it takes 36 hours, and the second pipe takes 45 hours to fill the entire tank. So the question is saying if both the pipes are opened simultaneously, how much time will it take to fill the tank? Now, very similar. Let me assume the capacity of the tank, the total capacity of the tank to be X liters. So if the pipe, the first pipe, that is your pipe A, if it fills X liters in 36 hours, then how many liters does it fill in 1 hour? That is the question. Nothing but your cross multiplication. What do you get? You get X by 36. So X by 36 liters is filled per hour. Per hour. In 1 hour, X by 36 liters is actually filled. Similarly, pipe B, X liters, that is the entire tank, is filled in 45 hours. Therefore, in 1 hour, how many liters are filled? Nothing but X by 45 liters. So it is nothing but X by 45 liters per hour. So if both the pipes are now opened simultaneously, then in 1 hour, how many liters are filled? Nothing but X by 36 plus X by 45. This should give us X by C, where C is the amount of time taken to fill the entire tank when both pipes A and B are open. So this is very similar to your previously explained problems in time and work, correct? So it is in this format now. So we now simply have to take the LCM. Okay, so we have 36 and 45. So 45 to the is 90. No, 90 is not divisible. 90 plus 45, 135. 135, no. How about 45 Forza? 45 Forza is 90, 90, 180. 36, let's check by 5. 50, yes, 180 is correct. So we'll take the LCM as 180. Okay, we'll take the LCM as 180. So 36 5s are 180 and 45 4s are 180. This is equal to X by C. 5 plus 4 is, this is 5, not 6. 5 plus 4 is 9x by 180 is equal to X by C. X and X we will cancel it out. 9 2s are and a 0. Therefore, C is nothing but 20 hours. Meaning if both the pipes are open together, the tank should be filled in 20 hours. Therefore, it is option A. Option A is the correct answer. So let me just do the same problem by another method. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, see here, pipe A fills it in 36 hours. Pipe B fills it in 45 hours. Let me assume the total capacity of the tank to be 180 liters. I'm assuming it. Let the total capacity of the tank be 180 liters. Now, if pipe A takes 36 hours to fill 180 liters, then in 1 hour, how many liters? Nothing but 180 by 36. 180 by 36. We know it is nothing but 5 liters per hour. We've just done this. 36 5 is 180. Similarly, if pipe B fills 180 liters in 45 hours, then in 1 hour, how much? 4 liters per hour. So if both the pipes are open, they are filling what? 5 plus 4, 9 liters per hour. So when both the pipes A and B are open, they are able to fill 9 liters per hour. So if in 1 hour they are able to fill 9 liters, how many hours do they take to fill? 180 liters. This is nothing but 180 by 9. 9 2s are 18 and a 0, nothing but 20 hours. Therefore the answer is 20 hours. Now from the next problem onwards, I will not be solving by the second method onwards. I hope that you're comfortable with X by now. And also this chocolate method, or assuming the capacity of the tank, is not possible. You cannot solve every type of problem by this method. You have to use fractions, you have to use proportions. Without that, it is a bit difficult. So you will see as we solve more problems. Okay, so we'll go to the next problem. Second problem. The second problem says two pipes can fill a tank in 10 hours and 12 hours. So let me say, let me assume it is the pipe A. It takes 10 hours to fill a tank, and pipe B to fill the tank, it takes 12 hours respectively. While there is a third pipe which empties the tank in 20 years. Which empties the tank in 20 years. So this is your outlet pipe. Okay, this is your outlet pipe. It takes 20 hours to empty the tank. It takes 20 hours to empty the tank. So if all the three pipes operate simultaneously, in how much time will the tank be filled? See, we will always assume let the capacity of the tank be X liters. We will always assume the capacity of the tank to be X liters. So if it is X liters, then we should always represent it in terms of X by A, X by B and X by C. This will be equal to something that is X by D. So if the first pipe is able to fill the tank in 10 hours, then in 1 hour it is able to fill X by 10 hours of the tank. The second pipe is able to fill the entire tank of X liters in 12 hours. Therefore, in 1 hour it is filling X by 12 hours. The third pipe is an outlet pipe. Instead of filling the tank, it is actually removing water. So if it is able to empty the entire tank of X liters in 20 hours, then in 1 hour it is able to remove how much? X by 20 liters. However, here is the most important part. See here, this is for pipe A, this is for pipe B. Both these pipes are adding water. They are adding water. They are doing the work. Whereas pipe C is undoing the work done by A and B. Since it is removing water, since it is undoing water, we have to subtract it. Please remember, here we have to subtract, because this pipe C is undoing the work done by A and B. Okay, it is like A makes 10 pencils, B makes 20 pencils, whereas C is now breaking pencils. So A is making 10 pencils per hour, B is making 20 pencils per hour, that is 30 pencils per hour. But C is breaking 5 pencils. So how many pencils are made every hour? Nothing but 10 plus 20 minus 5. So it will be 30 minus 5. Every hour 25 pencils are made. Therefore, we are subtracting it. This will give us X by D. The question is asking for the value of D. So we have 10, 12, 20. This is very simple. We can straight away take 60 as the LCM. So 10 6s are 60, 12 5s are 60, 23s are 60. This is equal to X by D. 5 minus 3 is 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. What do we get? We get 8x by 60 is equal to X by D. So it is 8 and 60. So 4, 30, 2, 15, 1, 7.5, 7 and a half. Therefore, D is nothing but 7.5 hours. So when all the pipes are open, the tank is filled in 7.5 hours. Nothing but option B. It is 7.5 hours. So we'll move on to the next question now. Question number 3. Question number 3 says, if two pipes function simultaneously, the reservoir will be filled in 12 hours. One pipe fills the reservoir 10 hours faster than the other pipe. So how many hours does it take the second pipe to fill the reservoir? So again, we'll assume a tank. Okay, the capacity of the tank is nothing but X liters. Let me assume the two pipes to be A and B. When both pipes A and B are open, they are able to fill the tank in 12 hours. They are able to fill the tank in 12 hours. Let me assume A to be filling the tank at a greater rate. Let me assume that A is filling the tank at a greater rate. So if I am taking A number of hours by pipe A and B number of hours by pipe B as the amount of time taken to fill the tank. Here this statement says one pipe fills the reservoir 10 hours faster than the other. Meaning if A is filling the tank at a much faster rate, it will take 10 hours lesser. It will take 10 hours lesser than B to fill the tank. So can I say A is nothing but B minus 10? Sorry. A is nothing but B minus 10, or I can also write this as B is equal to A plus 10. So number of hours taken by B is 10 hours more than the number of hours taken by A. This is what we have determined now. So now going back to your usual method, what do we always do? We always determine the number of hours taken, number of liters filled per hour. So if both, this is equal to, if both the pipes are filling the tank simultaneously, they are able to fill it in 12 hours. Therefore in 1 hour, how many liters? X by 12 liters per hour. So I don't know A, B, I have to find out the value of B. The question is asking for determining the value of B because I am assuming B to take more time. So here I can either substitute A as B minus 10 or B as A plus 10. Either way, I can either substitute A or I can substitute for B. It does not matter. If you want, I'll just substitute for as B as A plus 10. I'll substitute B as A plus 10. So what do we have? We have X by 12. We have X by 12 and we have X by A plus X by A plus 10 is equal to X by 12. This is the equation that we have actually determined over here. So now we have an equation where A is in the denominator and we have to find out the value of A. We have to find out the value of A. We have to find out the value of A. Okay, so let me just find out the value of A now. So what do we have here? We have X by A plus X by A plus 10 is equal to X by 12. Okay, now the question is actually asking for the time taken by B. Okay, so we should have substituted for A. We should have substituted A as B minus 10. Then we would have directly found out the value of B and not A first. So since I have substituted for B, I will first be determining the value of A and once I've determined the value of A, I should be able to determine the value of B. But here it does not take much time. B is nothing but A plus 10, so I'm not spending too much of extra time over here. But please always make sure, do not do the mistake that I have done here. Always try to determine the answer in terms of what the question is asking for. Here it won't take much time. I will determine the value of A first and then B. B is nothing but A plus 10, hence not much of time is required for this. But always try to do it correctly from the beginning itself. So let me just do this over here. So what happens over here, I'll just cancel x and x. So I have 1a plus 1 by a plus 10 is equal to 1 by 12. Now I'll cross multiply, take LCM over here. I take this here and I take this here. So I get what? A plus 10 plus a divided by a into a plus 10 is equal to 1 by 12. I'll do this here now. I'm running out of space. Okay. So I have 2a plus 10 divided by a square plus 10a is equal to 1 by 12. I'll take 12 to the left hand side. I'll take this to the right hand side. 2 into 12 is what? 24a. We have 24a plus 10 into 12 is 120 is equal to a square plus 10a. Now this is the equation that we have found out. I will take 24a and 120 to the right hand side. So what do I get here? I get a square, 24a and 10a. So if I take 24a to the other side, this becomes minus 24a. This becomes minus 24a. Minus 24a plus 10a, nothing but minus 14a. Minus 14a. And when I take 120 to the other side, this also becomes minus 120. This also becomes minus 120. So I have a square minus 14a minus 120 equal to 0. So now we have a quadratic equation. Once we solve the quadratic equation, I should be able to determine the value of a. Once we determine the value of a, we should be able to determine the value of b. Now, if you do get a quadratic equation, please do not get frustrated. Please do not get frustrated. You really don't have to get frustrated. You should very easily be able to find out the value of a. Okay, so I'll just tell you a simple method. Now you do have other methods to explain how to get your quadratic equation, but I will just tell you a method where you don't have to remember anything. It is very simple. Okay, you don't have to use any formula, you don't have to use any shortcuts, nothing. Just understand it. You should be able to do it always. Does not matter what kind of quadratic equation that you get. Okay, so what I want you to remember is that, see, you always get a quadratic equation in this manner, correct? This is nothing but your quadratic equation. Ax square plus bx plus c, this is nothing but a quadratic equation. So take a, b and c. Take the product of a and c. Take the product of a and c. Try to represent the product of a and c in terms of its prime numbers. In terms of its prime numbers. Once you determine or once you express the product of a and c in its prime numbers, use this prime numbers to get a sum which is equal to that of b. I will just explain how this is done over here. Let me just erase it. Okay. Let me just clear some space for myself here. Okay. So here, what is the quadratic equation that we have? It is a square minus 14a minus 120 is equal to 0. Okay. What is a here? 1. What is b here? Minus 14. What is c here? Minus 120. What product do we have to take? A and c. A and c is nothing but 120. Minus 120. I'll just leave the minus over here for now. Let me just take 120. I have to represent 120 in terms of its prime numbers. How can I do it easily? Just the LCM method. Okay, 120, so we have 60, another 2 we have 30, another 2 we have 15, 3, and we have 5. Okay, so now we have represented 120 in terms of its prime numbers. So we have 2 into 2 into 2 into 3 into 5. 5 3 is 60, sorry, 5 3 is 15, 15 2 is 30, 30 2 is 60, 60 2 is 120. So do you get 120? Yes. Now I have to use these numbers in such a manner such that its sum is equal to B, that is 14. So look here now. 5, take this 2, 2 and 5. 2 into 2, 4. 5 into 4 is 20. 3 into 2 is 6. 20 into 60 is still what? 20 into 60 is still 120. Also, 20 plus 6 is equal to 14. 20, sorry, my mistake. 20 minus 6 is equal to 14. So what I will do is I will represent this equation in terms of 20 and 6. How will I do this? I have 1a square minus 20x plus, sorry, a plus 6a minus 120 is equal to 0. See, it is still the same equation. 1a square minus 14a minus 120 is equal to 0. So minus 1a square minus 20a plus 6a. What is it? Minus 20a plus 6a is nothing but still minus 14a itself. I am not changing anything. I am just breaking this up. 14 into minus 20a plus 6. So that the sum of minus 20 and 6 is equal to what? Minus 14. Also the product minus 20 into 6 is equal to the product, that is nothing but minus 120. So once I do this, I should be able to determine the value of A. Again, let me just clear some space. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write this over here. So we have 1a square minus 20a plus 6a minus 120 is equal to 0. I'll take a common. What do I get? I get a minus 20. Correct? I can write this. I'm taking a common out from a square minus 20a. I get a into inside the brackets a minus 20. Similarly, it is this. I'm taking 6 common. What do I get still? 6, I take 6 common, a minus 20 is equal to 0. Now can I take a minus 20 common outside? Of course I can. So what do I get finally? I get a plus 6 and a minus 20 is equal to 0. So either a plus 6 is equal to 0 or a minus 20 is equal to 0. Either a plus 6 is equal to 0 or a minus 20 is equal to 0. If a plus 6 is equal to 0, it would mean a is equal to minus 6. If a is equal to minus 20, then it would mean a is equal to 20. Now we have to decide between minus 6 and 20. What is the correct answer? Now, first of all, what does a represent? A represents time. Correct? A represents the time taken to fill the tank. Can time be negative? Can the time be negative? No, time cannot be negative. Therefore, the correct answer is A is nothing but 20 hours. The time taken by the first pipe is 20 hours. If A is 20 hours, what was B? A plus 10 equal to 30 hours. Therefore, the correct answer is C. It is 30 hours. Okay, so is this understood? 20, how many hours does it take for the second pipe? My mistake, sorry, it is not 20, it is 30. It is, the correct answer is 30 hours, option C. So the second pipe takes 30 hours to fill the tank, whereas the first pipe takes 20 hours. Fourth question. Now the fourth question says a cistern has two pipes which will fill it in 12 minutes and 15 minutes respectively. There is also a waste pipe. There is also a waste pipe in the cistern. When all the three are opened, the empty cistern is actually filled in 20 minutes. How long will the waste pipe take to empty the full cistern? How long will it take for the waste pipe to empty the full cistern? So I hope you have understood this particular question over here. So we have a tank. There are two pipes. Let me assume it to be A and B. A takes 12 minutes to fill the tank. B takes 15 minutes to fill the tank. There is another outlet pipe C which extracts water. Okay. So there's also a waste pipe in the cistern. When all the three are opened, the empty cistern is full in 20 minutes. When all of them are opened simultaneously. So how long will the waste pipe take to empty the tank? So meaning if there is no tap A, there is no tap B, and if the entire tank was filled, how much time would C take to empty the tank entirely? Don't you think this is very simple? Can I write this as x by A plus x by B minus x by C is equal to x by 20, because the empty cistern is full in 20 minutes. Empty cistern is full in 20 minutes. So this, I don't think I have to explain it further. You know how we get this. By now you should be able to understand how are we able to determine this. It is minus because C, tap C is extracting out water. It is extracting water out. So A is nothing but 12. This is nothing but 15 minus x by C is equal to x by 20. I'll take x by C to the right hand side, x by 20 to the left hand side. So I get x by 12, x by 15 minus x by 20 is equal to x by C. I want the value for C now. 12, 15, 20, very easy. We can take LCM as 60. We can take LCM as 60. 12 5s are 60, 15 4s are 60, 3s are 60 is equal to x by C. 5 plus 4, 9, 9 minus 3, 6. We get 6x by 60 is equal to x by C. 6 tens are 60. Therefore, C is what? Nothing but 10. So the empty tank takes 10 minutes to remove the entire amount of water from the tank. So the answer is 10 minutes, option C. Yes, it is 10 minutes. Next question, question number 5. Now the fifth question says an electric pump can fill a tank in 3 hours. Because of a leak in the tank, it took 3.5 hours extra to fill the tank. If the tank is full, how much time will the leak take to empty it? See, I hope the question is very clear. The question is actually very, very simple. The question is very simple. Maybe the wordings is slightly twisted, but you don't have to worry. See, all the question is saying is that we have a tank and we have a pump, electric pump, which is able to fill the tank in 3 hours. Which is able to fill the tank in 3 hours. But because of a leak, nothing but outlet, it took 3.5 hours to fill the tank because of this leak. Meaning what? X by A minus x by B, if I'm taking this as B, is equal to x by C, where C is equal to 3.5 hours. C is equal to 3.5 hours, because it only means that the inlet and the outlet pipe are open and it takes 3.5 hours to fill the entire tank. So A's value is given as 3, C's value is given as 3.5. We have to determine the value of B, the time taken by the leak to empty the tank entirely. So don't you think this is very simple now? X by A is what? X by 3 minus x by B is equal to x by 3.5. I'll take this to the left hand side, I'll take this to the right hand side over here. So I get x by 3 minus x by 3.5 is equal to x by b. Okay, LCM 3.5x minus 3x divided by 3 into 3.5 is equal to x by b. 3.5x minus 3x is what? Nothing but 0.5x by 3 into 3.5 is equal to x by b. I'll write this over here the top. Can I represent 0.5 as 1 by 2? Of course I can. I'll write this as x by 2. Can I represent 3.5 as 7 by 2? Yes, I can. This is equal to x by 2, x by b. 2 and 2 gets cancelled. 7 3s are 21. So I get x by 21 is equal to x by b, nothing but b. That is, the time taken by the leak to empty the entire tank is 21 hours. Therefore, the correct answer is option C, 5. It is 21 hours. Let's move on to the sixth question. The sixth question says, two pipes can fill a cistern in 14 hours and 16 hours respectively. The pipes are opened simultaneously, and it is found that due to a leakage in the bottom, it took 32 minutes more to fill the cistern. When the cistern is full, in what time will the leak empty it alone? The question means that if the cistern is full, what is the time taken by the leak to empty the entire tank by itself? This question is very similar to the previous question, except that instead of one inlet pipe, we have two inlet pipes. Except that instead of one inlet pipe, we have two inlet pipes. So don't you think this is very simple now? So can I straight away move on to x by a by x by b minus x by c is equal to x by d, where x is the total capacity of the tank. So can I write it as x by 14 plus x by 16, 14 hours for a, b 16 hours, c I have to find out. I have to find this out. And this is equal to nothing but x by d, where the pipes are opened simultaneously, and it is found that due to a leakage in the bottom, it took 32 minutes extra to fill the cistern. Now, if it took 32 minutes extra to fill the cistern, I have to first find out what was the amount of time taken to fill the tank without the leakage. First, I have to find out the amount of time taken to fill the tank without the leakage. How can I find out the time taken to fill the tank without the leakage? It is nothing but x by b plus x by a plus x by b, correct? This would be the total amount of time taken to the way to find out the total amount of time taken to fill the tank without the leakage is nothing but to add x by a and x by b. So what is this? X by 14 plus x by 16. X by 14 plus x by 16. So I take 16x plus 14x divided by 14 into 16. This is nothing but 14 plus 16, 16 plus 4, 10, 30x, and 14 into 16. Okay, so this is what 2 is 15 and 7. So I have 7 6 are 42, 4 7 1 are 7, 7 plus 4 11 x, and I'll bring 15 to the denominator. So if there was no leakage, the amount of time taken to fill the tank entirely was nothing but 112 by 15 hours. But due to the leakage, it takes 32 minutes extra. It takes 32 minutes extra to fill the entire tank. Now the problem is that, see, 112 by 15 is in terms of hours and 32 is in the form of minutes. So I'll have to either change everything to minutes or everything to hours. So in order to sum this up, what I will do is, see here, 1 hour is equal to how many minutes? 60 minutes. Therefore, 112 by 15 is equal to how many minutes? Nothing but 112 by 15 into 60. 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Therefore, 112 by 15 hours is how many minutes? 112 by 15 into 60. 15 4s are 60. 4 2s are 8. 4 1s are 4. 4 1s are 4. So, this is nothing but 448 minutes plus 32 minutes. Plus 32 minutes. So, it is what? 450 plus 30, 480 minutes. So the total time taken to fill the tank with the leakage is now 480 minutes. 480 minutes is how many hours? It is nothing but 6 8s is 480. Therefore 480 minutes is nothing but 8 hours. Therefore D is nothing but 8 hours. So now don't you think we can find out the value of C? It is very simple. X by C is nothing but X by 14 plus X by 16 minus X by 8. X by 14 and X by 16 is what we already know it. It is nothing but it is nothing but 15 X by 112. What is 112? 112 is nothing but 7 and 16. 7 into 16 or 7 2s are 14 into 8. 14 into 8. So what I will do is that I have minus X by 8 over here. I have minus X by 8 over here. I will multiply the numerator and denominator by 14. I will multiply the numerator and denominator by 14. So I have 14x over here. 14 into 8 should give me 112. 8 4s are 32, 8 1s are 8, 112. Yes, 112. This is nothing but x by c is equal to 15x by 112 minus 14x by 112. Nothing but 15x minus 14x is x and 112. Therefore, the leak takes 112 hours to empty the tank entirely. Therefore, the correct option is option D, 112 hours. I hope you are following. It includes some extra calculations. Please don't be concerned with practice. You should be able to do it. Only thing is that please be careful when it comes to multiplication, division, addition and subtraction. So we'll go on to the next question. That is the 7th question. The 7th question says two pipes A and B can fill a tank in 36 minutes and 45 minutes respectively. A water pipe C can empty the tank in 30 minutes. First, A and B are opened. After 7 minutes, C is also opened. So in how much time can the tank be full? Okay, so what the question is saying that we have a tank, we have two pipes A and B. A takes 36 minutes, B takes 45 minutes to fill the tank. A water pipe C can empty the tank in 30 minutes. So first A and B are open for 7 minutes. For 7 minutes A and B are kept open. After 7 minutes C is open. So in how much time the tank can be filled, considering that both A and B are open for 7 minutes for the first time. Now I hope this problem reminds you of one type of particular problem which we had done in work and time in terms of the complete amount of work that has to be completed. So I will just explain this for you. What I'm going to say is that okay, now let me assume the amount of liters or the capacity of the tank to be x liters. The amount of the capacity of the tank to be x liters. Correct? Now if pipe A fills up x liters in 36 minutes, if pipe A fills up x liters in 36 minutes, then how many liters are filled in 7 minutes? Because both pipe A and B are kept open for 7 minutes first. Therefore, in 7 minutes, how many liters would actually be filled up? Nothing but 7x by 36. Similarly, pipe B can fill x liters in 45 minutes. So how many liters are filled in 7 minutes? Nothing but 7x by 45. So in those 7 minutes, pipe A fills up 7x by 36 liters and pipe B fills up 7x by 45 liters. After 7 minutes, pipe C is also opened. So now the question is asking, in how much time can the pipe be filled? So after 7 minutes, it takes some amount of time for the tank to be filled. Let me assume that amount of time to be P. Let me assume it takes P minutes extra after the first 7 minutes to fill the entire tank. Meaning what? A is open for another P minutes, B is open for another P minutes, C is open for another P minutes. That is when the entire amount of tank is filled. So after 7 minutes, if A is open for another P minutes, it would fill how many liters? Px by 36 liters. Similarly, B would fill Px by 45 liters. Just as how I got 7x by 36, I am getting Px by 36. Whereas pipe C is now open for P minutes as well, but instead of filling water, it is extracting water at what rate? In 1 hour, it is able to remove Px by 30 liters. Sorry, 1 minute. And so this is all in terms of minutes. Sorry, I've been expressing it in terms of hours because always we've been dealing with hours. This minutes. So in 30 minutes, it is able to extract the entire tank, X liters of water. So in P minutes, how many liters would it remove? Nothing but P into X by 30 minutes. So if you add all this, you get X liters. You get X liters. So I hope you understood how to get this equation. So I will cancel out X, X, X and X. So what I wanted to tell you is that all of this is not necessary. If you have understood, you should be able to write straight away. You should straight away after reading the question, you should arrive at this. You should be able to arrive at this equation. This is the equation that we require now. After reading the question, straight away you should be able to write this. In order to help you to understand how do you get this, I have just explained the entire problem. But again, if you've not understood work and time, it will be difficult for you to understand this particular concept over here. It is one because the tank is being filled. However, if the question was in how much time can the tank be emptied, meaning this tap is able to remove water at a greater rate than when compared to A and B filling the tank. Okay, so instead of the tank being full, if the question was in how much time will the tank be empty, then it should have been minus 6. Instead of 1, it should have been minus 1. You can just make a note of this. Instead of 1, it will be minus 1 because you are undoing the work. Instead of x, it will be minus x. So we've got this equation. We only have to find out the value of P. We only have to find out the value of P. So 36, 45, 30. I think 36, 45 we have taken 180. 180 is also divisible by 30. One of the previous problems, if you remember. 180. Okay, so 36 was 45 was 4 times, so it is 5 times. So 5 times. So 5 sevens are 35 plus 5p plus 4 sevens are 28 plus 4p 6 minus 6p is equal to 1. I will take 180 to the other side. I'll multiply this. 35 plus 28. 30, 20 is 50. 58. 58 plus 5 is 63. 63. 5p plus 4p is 9p. 9p minus 6p is 3p. 3p. 3p is equal to 180. I take 63 to the other side. What do I get? I get 3p is equal to 180 minus 63. 180 minus 63. 180 minus 60 is 120. 120 minus 3 is 117. Therefore, what is p? 117 by 3. 3 3s are 9. 2 7 27. 3 9s are 27. Okay. So we've got 39 minutes. But is 39 minutes the answer? Even though 39 minutes is there in the options. No. What is the question asking for? In how much time is the tank full? What is the total amount of time taken to fill the tank? It is not 39 minutes. It is 39 minutes plus the 7 minutes for which only A and B was open. So in this particular scenario, it will take 39 minutes plus 7 minutes, which is 39 plus 7 equal to 46 minutes. See here, again the person setting the question, that is the examiner, is very, he understands that everybody is going to do this. You would eventually find out 30 minutes. As soon as you find out 39 minutes, you would have forgotten what is the question asking for, because as soon as you see 39 minutes, you will go and mark option C. But the correct answer is 46 minutes, 39 plus 7. So it is a very subtle step that most of us would always forget. Please don't make such careless mistakes. Even I make such careless mistakes, but I want you to practice more. Ensure, please read the question twice if required, but don't make silly mistakes. Even after doing the entire problem, even after solving the entire problem, don't end up marking option C. It is option B. It is 36 minutes. Okay, we will solve one last question, that is question 8. So we have two pipes A and B which can fill a tank in 24 minutes and 32 minutes respectively. If both the pipes are opened simultaneously, after how much time should B be closed so that the tank is full in 18 minutes? I hope you understood the question. If not, you may pause the question, pause the video, read the question, also try to do this. This is very similar to the previous problem which we have just now solved. So the question is saying that we have two pipes A and B. Okay, A takes 24 minutes to fill the tank, B takes 32 minutes to fill the tank. Now we want the tank to be filled exactly in 18 minutes. So X liters to be filled exactly in 18 minutes. Okay, not less, not more. So initially both the pipes are opened simultaneously. Now if both the pipes are opened simultaneously, it will be filled in less than 18 minutes. If you fill both the tanks, if you start to fill both the tanks in by opening tap A and tap B together, then you would end up filling the tank well before 18 minutes, which we do not want. So what we have to do is we have to close tap B initially itself. We have to close tap B before itself, so that only A is going to fill the tank, and it will take some extra minutes to fill the tank, so that it is entirely full in 18. See, if you're not able to understand, if both the taps are open together. Okay, so we have X by 24 and X by 32. This, if X by 24, 32, can we take 96? 24 4s are 16 4, yes. 32 3s are, yes. So if both the taps are open simultaneously, 96 24 4x plus 3x is equal to 7x by 96. So the amount of time taken will be 96 by 7. So 7 ones are 7, 2 6, 7 to the 14, 7 3s are 21. See here, I don't need to solve the entire thing. What will you get? You will get 5 here. Now, if both the pipes are open simultaneously, the entire tank will be filled in some 13 odd minutes. Okay, but I want the tank to be filled in 18 minutes. So what I am going to do is that after some amount of time, I will close tab B. I will close tab B and I will only allow A to remain open so that it takes a total of 18 minutes to fill the entire tank. So the question is asking after how many minutes should I close B, or it also means for how many minutes has tab B been able to fill the tank. So for how many minutes has tab B been filling the tank? That is what the question is asking for. This is very simple. I can straight away write 18 by 24 plus P by 32 is equal to 1. This is how we have to solve it now. You should straightly be able to arrive at this. So why am I writing 18 by 24? Because tab A remains open for 18 minutes entirely. It remains open for 18 minutes entirely. In 1 minute, how many liters can it fill? X by 24 liters. Therefore, in 18 minutes, how many liters can it fill? 18 into X by 24. However, tab P remains open only for certain number of minutes. That is P, and I have to find out P. Therefore, I am writing P by 32 is equal to 1. So once again, I think I can take the LCM as 96. So this is nothing but 18 into 4 plus 3P is equal to 1. 8 4 is 32, 4 7. 72 plus 3P. I'm going to take 96 over here. This is equal to 96. 3P is equal to 96 minus 72. This is nothing but 24. Therefore, P is 24 by 3, 8. So, tab B remains open only for 8 minutes. After 8 minutes, tab B is closed. It is shut down. And A continues to fill the tank for another 10 minutes. Therefore, it is filled in a total of 18 minutes. Therefore, the correct answer is 8 minutes. Now after this, you do have a few practice questions. Please do try to solve the practice questions. Now in any of the previous videos, if you have asked any doubt and if I have not answered any of your doubts, please do repeat the question in this particular video. Please do post a comment under this particular video over here saying that you had asked a question in video 2, for example, or video 3. Just write that you had posted a question, you had posted a doubt in video 3 or video 4 or video 5, which I have not answered, because it becomes tedious for me to keep repeatedly going to each and every video to check if somebody has asked a doubt. So please do post a comment over here, then so that I can go back and check your question and I can actually reply to you. As soon as I see a question, I will send the solution to Namak APSC so that Namak APSC handle can post the solution. If you have already asked a question, also check if the solution has been mentioned in the comment in which the answers were given, so that comment posted by Namak APSC handle would be pinned. Also check if the solution has been posted under that comment under that particular video. So with this particular video, I will be finishing pipes and cisterns. There are 4 more questions for you to practice. The answers will be posted in the comment section. If you do have further doubts, it's a bit complicated. I've taken certain complicated questions. Please do post in the comment section. So thank you for watching. Please do follow us for more such videos. Thank you.